Okay, so hello my friends, and this afternoon I've decided to come out here onto this massive meadow, which is basically on the lake itself. In the next few days this will start getting waterlogged and then be under a foot of water or so as the authorities let the water level rise. And what I wanted to do is see if I can get some footage, maybe a photo or two, of the Golden Jackals. So basically, to orientate you, the woods back here and the line of reeds that you see back there, that's where the jackals rest. That's where they have their dens, their nests, and that's where they rest during the day. And they come out in the evening and they cross this meadow here, and on the other side there, you probably won't be able to make it out because they're quite low on the horizon, are the pelican platforms, and to the left over there is the riparian forest where all the cormorants, herons, etc. they nest and breed, and they are not surrounded by water at the moment, so they're a destination as well for the jackals looking to nab a feed. And from what I understand, the cormorants already have some chicks on their nests. So basically that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set the hide up here in the lee of this bush, hopefully to hide my presence a bit. The wind is to my left, the breeze, slight breeze, which means my scent will hopefully be being carried away that way, and they're going to be coming from that way. So they won't pick up my scent with any luck because they are super sensitive creatures. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll sit up here, give me a good view over the meadow this side. Sun sets over that in that direction, so I might get some a nice sunset if the clouds allow. And maybe we'll get lucky and get some shots of the jackals. So let me set all that up and I'll get back to you once I'm in the hide again. So I'm pretty settled in the hide. I have a good view over the meadow in front and the reeds where I suspect they will come out. So it's just a question of waiting. I am quite early because I didn't want to risk any kind of disturbance at all. So I mean, if I had come a bit later and they were already out, then they would have shot off and that would be the end of it. So I've come quite early, just to make sure, I mean, they do come out in daylight, in the last of the daylight, so hopefully I will have some light to actually film them with and photograph them with. But now it's just a question of waiting. I probably have an hour and a half, 2 hours to wait, but that's okay. That's I prefer that than spooking them. So, fingers crossed, be able to get some decent shots. Oh, that's, what do you call them? Black storks. Let's see if I can get some shots of them as they're flying together. It's a pair. Okay, so I'll be back with you hopefully in a while with something interesting in frame. So I'll see you then. Okay, so I've been in here for about 2 hours now, and the sun has started getting a bit lower at least, and light is turning golden, which is nice. Sight nor sound of them yet, but I'm keeping as vigilant as I possibly can in the hope that I can catch them actually emerging from the reeds or the woods back there, because that would be a nice shot to see them actually emerging from the reeds out onto the meadow. I can only imagine though that I'm going to get the briefest of time with them, because they'll probably there's nothing on the meadow as such. There's a few spoonbills and herons that are quite a distance away from me that are perched over a water hole there, but I've not seen them go for the herons before, so I doubt they'll pay them much attention. And just the magpie. So I can't imagine they'll hang around here very long, but it would make a nice shot as part of a sequence to have them emerging out onto the meadow and then crossing. And then on another occasion I might try and go further along to where their hunting ground might be. Anyway, I'll get back to you as soon as I see anything. Okay, so that was yesterday. I didn't do a closing piece yesterday evening to camera for reasons I will explain now. Basically, as you will have just seen in the last little sequence I put together, I got distracted by I think it was a juvenile greater spotted eagle that was being buzzed by a snake eagle, as well as at one point a buzzard and some crows. And so I was busy filming that, and I was holding on in the hope that the jackals would turn up. And time was passing, and it got late by the time the jackals did turn up, and I missed them where they came out onto the meadow because I was distracted with the eagle and filming a little bit of the moonlight as it rose. And then I was just so anxious to get back because I'd left the dog for so many hours at home on his own that I just packed up and left with the idea that I would come back today, the next day, and try again. So the shots of the jackals I did manage to get were very distant, so they were not the best shots because there was a little bit of heat haze there was absolutely no light to speak of at all. The sun had already gone down, but there was a little bit of a glow in the sky, and then it just turned blue, and they drifted off into the distance over there, over the meadow. And I didn't get the shots that I wanted, so I'm back to try and get those. I really do want the shots of them coming out of the reeds behind the trees here, and entering the meadow, and the shot of them running across, just loping across the meadow toward their feeding ground, which is the pelicans and the cormorant colony back there. So so that's what I'm here to do this afternoon. I'm a little bit later than I was yesterday, so I'll only have an hour hopefully in the hide before the light turns golden again, and I can hope maybe that they make an earlier appearance. That's what I'm hoping for. So I'll get all set up and I shall speak to you again from inside the hide. Okay, so I'm back in the hide. I set it up today probably 50-60 meters further over from where I was yesterday, underneath a tree, in the hope that I can get just that little bit closer to them than I was yesterday. And hopefully today I won't be distracted as I've just been now by another stork, and actually pay more attention to where they might appear from. Thing is with them, it's as if they do appear out of nowhere sometimes. And the thing that I want to do is, those shots were okay, I guess. They're not the best shots by any means, but I really want to be able to tie them in to a more complete story. So I want to have them exiting from the reed beds and the woods back there, sort of entering the meadow, crossing the meadow, so that later on, next week or the week after, I can get some shots of them actually hunting, if I'm super lucky, because you have to be lucky with these creatures. And that way I can tie it all together and make a more complete story. So it's important that these shots are quite good. So anyway, fingers crossed it'll all come together. We shall see. So all I have to do is just sit back and wait now, and be patient, and try and be a little bit more alert than I was yesterday. So I'll catch up with you in a bit. I'd like someone to explain to me how not to get distracted when you have this beautiful white stork shot and so close as well. Which is kind of reassuring in that he is unaware of my presence. And there's also a pair of ducks on the little pond just where he's feeding. So he's walking along, grazing on, picking up, I don't know, little frogs, bugs, beetles, whatever he finds, right near the pond. And the ducks are just over to his right. Get a shot of the duck as well. And the, if I can focus, the mallards are particularly flighty and sensitive to any human presence. So the fact that they're unaware of me as well is doubly reassuring. Okay, back to watching for the jackals. Okay, so for a good few minutes the stork stood to attention, looking over at the trees. He stopped doing what he was doing, foraging, and he was just paying really close attention to the trees and his surroundings, and then he just flew off now. So I'm wondering if he sensed something. Of course, it'd be just my luck for them to have gone round and be right behind me. But he was looking in the direction of the trees. I think I have 10 minutes left of flight. So the light is really the last of it. So unless they make an appearance now, I'm not going to get anything again. Ah, there they are. There's 3 of them, I think. Go on, focus. So just on the edge of the, between the reeds and the woods. I've lost them now. They went right behind that clump of trees there. Oh, there they are again. Going along at a fair trot, just following the line of reeds in between the reeds and the trees there. Okay, he's gone behind a mound again. Okay, give me an opportunity to change my ISO because it's now super dark again. I'm going to lose them in a minute once they turn around and come back this way again. I can't pan further right unless I stick the camera out of the hide, which I don't particularly want to do. So that's 3 together. So they've gone so far to the right that I can't actually pan far enough around. I was expecting them to come across. Let's see if there's any others just left behind. No, can't see anything. Now, all the science literature that I have read about golden jackals say that they are not pack animals. Let's see if I can stick the camera up a little bit further. Straighten it up. Okay, I found them again. Yeah, so apparently they're not pack animals, but that's 4 now. So I don't know what to believe, whether it's parents and children. They all look to be fully grown to me, these ones. Can I punch in any further? Just slightly further. Yeah, but they here at the lake, and also in Greece generally, from other people that I've spoken to, that has observed jackals here in Greece, observes them as pack animals. And they're nuzzling each other, and it's really rather nice. I just wish they'd come out this way, closer to me. Pause that one. Okay, they're heading back along the line of reeds. Okay, I need to move my seat slightly so I can... Really hard to focus in this light as well. It actually looks like he's looking at me, one of them. I don't think he is, but the one yesterday as well actually looked like he was looking at me, but again I don't think he was. The wind picked up as well just now. So, and this thing might be making a bit of noise, so maybe that's what they can hear. God knows. They really are quite far away though to be hearing this. Ah, there's a car behind me. So that spooked them. That's what they were looking at. There's somebody driving behind me along the track. Probably one of the park wardens. Or one of the buffalo people. Okay, so what happened? And what happened next after last night's rude interruption? So basically, it was 3 guys in a 4x4, ostensibly wildlife photographers, who saw my hide and decided to come investigate. And their arrival, just as the jackals had come out and were starting to display some natural behavior, bolted as soon as the car pulled up behind me. And that was the end of that. So I then exited the hide, made my feelings known to them, and they drove off sheepishly. And that brings on 2 points, really, that I think are worth raising. The first is one of ethics, especially in wildlife photography. And that is, firstly, do not enter areas that are prohibited, like those guys did, because they had come from where the Pelican platforms are located. So they'd obviously been up that track looking to see what shots they can get and how close they could get to the pelicans. So, you know, this is breeding season, and pelicans are very sensitive to human presence and abandon their nests at the slightest. So, you know, you have to respect that and just not approach, not in any way, shape, or form. Secondly, if you're in an area, whether you're allowed to be there or not, is don't stray off the tracks, because you don't know what you're crushing, you know, under the wheels. Flora, fauna, whatever it might be, you are being destructive. So stick to the tracks. You know, because you have a 4x4 that can get you to a lot of places off-road, doesn't mean that you should. So, you know, a little bit of common sense and restraint when it comes to going off-road, especially if you're in a national park or any wildlife area. And then there's the point of common courtesy. If you see somebody trying to do some work, you know, photographing whatever in a hide, or not even in a hide, don't disturb them. I mean, there's nothing to be gained from that, and you don't know what they're focused on. You know, something that you might not be able to see. And if you approach, you know, there's a very good possibility that you will disturb whatever it is that they're either waiting for or in the process of photographing at that moment. Sabi, get back. Good boy. Go on, get back. So, yeah. That's about all I have to say on that matter. Anyway, seeing as I didn't do a proper wrap-up yesterday of the video, I'll do that now. So thank you again so much for watching, and especially if you've lasted this long into the video, as I think it will probably be a fairly long one. I really do appreciate all your likes and subscribes and all of that. So thank you again for that as well. And this is hopefully just the beginning of several videos that I'll be doing in my efforts to film the Golden Jackals here at the lake. So yeah, look out for the next one. And I shall see you all again very soon, hopefully. So thanks again, and bye for now.